Capcom is dropping heat with Mai this week. Multiversus, I don't know, goes into a black hole, and Floyd's educating us. Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. I'm, of course, your host, Crash, and with me, I've got Dolly Parton's #1 fan in StaticGorilla.
What's up?
Literally, if you're watching this live, or if you're watching the video format, you'll see what I'm talking about. But we've also got Mezza in the building.
What's going on?
What's going on? He's rocking, as Static says, the Floyd headphones there. We're back for another week, another episode, or rather another 2 weeks, right? We're now doing it every 2 weeks. We've got plenty to talk about, man. A lot of things have gone on. It has been a crazy 2 weeks when it comes to the news for fighting games. If you're new to the show, once again, this is Double Tap. We talk about everything and anything in the fighting game community, the news, the drama, the tech, the community members, all of that. If you haven't already, if you're just checking out this show for the first time, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms. And we'll plug in our Discord later. It's going to be very important to actually join our Discord later. In the meantime, though, this episode is being recorded on the 3rd of February, 4th for me right now, of February. And let's jump right into it. Mai coming out this week. She's coming out February 5th, the 3rd of the Season 2 pack. The 3rd, right? I'm not tripping. Bison, Terry, Mai, yeah.
Yes.
The 3rd character in the Season 2 pack for Street Fighter 6. She's dropping. And with all good hype trains, we got some information on her. And she's also going to be bringing some quality of life things going on with the patch that we'll talk about in a second. But let's just jump into some of her gameplay. We ended up getting one of those breakdown videos that are also common for DLC on whether or not you want to spend your hard-earned cash on getting this character, or at least the season pass at all. So first thoughts, what are we feeling right now, fellas, on the character? What do we like? What do we don't like? And what do we think needs some work?
She's fire.
Astute observation there.
Thank you,
she is pretty dope.
Appreciate
She
it.
is pretty dope.
I feel as though she will be quite, how do I say, above average, but I do see some weaknesses I think might be there. Like very punishable on those like nutty stuff. And granted, that's something that you always see with most characters.
What's the nutty stuff?
Well, I mean, when you're just doing like an OD move, like, and even her fireball it's good, but it's not very good. So
I don't know. I'm actually on the other side of that. So we got to see a breakdown, obviously, of like her special moves. But the breakdown videos aren't actually showing like all her buttons or anything like that. Like that's like the big kind of missing piece here is like really how her buttons are going to be, which are what you're going to be pressing 99% of the time. Okay, let's give it like 90% of the time. You're going to do a lot of special moves. But yeah, the projectile game, right? That's one of the things when we first saw her trailer, I was kind of like, yo, these projectiles might be kind of dangerous. There has to be a fault to them. And there is. You can
hit them.
You can smack them.
Yes.
Or rather, you can smack the low version of them. Right, like I think from what they said in the video that you can't actually hit the medium and the heavy ones. It's just the low one, which is the fastest one you can do, and it's the fastest one you can do, and it's also the slowest one. You can just get that shit out my face, yo. Easy.
I feel like
not
people
too
are
difficult to
looking
do.
at it wrong. I just feel like people are looking at it wrong.
Why is that? What are you thinking?
The thing is, she plays the game probably as well as any of the original characters that were put into the game with the system. She's actually abusing the hell out of level 1, which having a strong level 1 is really important, especially because it's something that you're going to use very often. But to also get buffed and stronger compared to other characters who they don't gain that. They have to get level 3 to gain that usually, or maybe level 2. Yeah, I think she plays the game completely different. I think she plays the game very heavy mix-up. She gets to kind of get a lot of guesses, which most characters want to be able to do, which is B+. So unless you're playing a top tier character that could press like stand heavy punch and be like +1 or +1000, you're not really getting the chance to play the game effectively like the rest of the cast. I think she's going to be able to do that plus more.
Yeah, I mean, her tool set is looking strong. We'll get into the supers a bit specific in a sec. But just to close out the projectiles, I think they're strong. But yeah, they're not going to be, I think, as free Because I think this that startup is kind of a little slow for me. But they're full screen. It's not like they fall off or anything. Not like Chunner's Fireball, right? So I think her Fireball game is gonna be solid, right? So I'll kind of go down the list of like the checks for me as to things that are good, or what they seem good. Because I think we're getting a lot of the good stuff here. And like Static, you're probably seeing some of the faults here, and we're not trying to doom a character before they even come out, right?
Well, here's my other thing. Like, it's gonna depend on what happens sort of throughout the week that she's out this week.
Yeah.
And why do I say that is because everyone's gonna want to pick her, but everyone's gonna be either doing the wrong things or just flying in, doing all the nutty stuff, where it's like, oh, she can dash in, but she can also get anti-aired very easily. So it's like, it's going to come down to like character specialists who are going to actually use the tools that she has. Because if she's going to have like all of these aerial movements, then yeah, I think she's above average. However, if it's going to come down to a character specialist doing it, like let's say Xian, if Xian likes this character, then he's going to be probably the only one using her to the craziest capacity.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
You don't?
No, I don't believe that. I actually think she's a lot more flexible for not newer players, but with her toolkit, yes, she has a Fireball that requires a little bit of buffing. She does have a little bit of a requirement to get to the mix-up, but I mean, I kind of want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't think people are as bad as they used to be. Like, Terry is not a great character. Let's be real here. He came out, we thought he was like going to be super busted because of a lot of the tools he had, but he was underwhelming, but he was a very easy character for most to play. I don't think Mai is like insane levels of hard, but I definitely think she's going to cater towards very the higher level players with a higher ceiling. But I think a majority of players are going to be able to understand mix. They're going to understand, hey, I need to get to this certain degree. It's not Jamie where you have to do drinks constantly and try to maintain something through the whole battle. I think she's like very straightforward.
She's a whole character. Yeah, that was kind of one of the things I was going to bring up. Like, her kit right now is like so straightforward that I think it's like it's so straightforward that it's effective. Like, there's no gimmick here. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I'm not seeing her as gimmick character like that. Are you?
I get it, but I see what you mean, but I see that there's gimmicks added on to.
There's gimmicks added, but I mean, like, it's not a gimmick that you need to rely on to actually make her effective.
Well, are there gimmicks that
make her better? Are there gimmicks that make her better? Absolutely.
But that could be said for every character in the game. This is the thing I've been saying for the past 2 years, is that every character has their depth, and every character also has their simplicity. Cammy still has the whole, I can play like Cammy from other games with Hooligan doing 500 other things. But I can also play Chun-Li without using stance because I didn't even know there was a stance. Like, there are players out there that still don't know about stance. And there are players out there that still don't know that Luke has a perfect punch. You know what I mean?
That's just
Luke has a perfect punch. Damn,
that's just bad studying on their part. But I will say this: I think the biggest, easiest way to figure it out is does she knowledge check people? I think she's going to be a very heavy knowledge checker character. Where if you are letting her get away with things, it's not because it's a gimmick as much as like where there's some characters who are straight gimmicks. Blanca. Yeah, I said it. It's true. They know it.
Of course it is.
But no, like in all honesty, I think she's just one of those characters that she looks, from what it looks like from her gameplay and the way they're stressing the way it looks like they want her to be played, she seems to be very knowledge checky. And yeah, you might be right, Gabe. Give or take, I don't think she's going to be a top tier character. I think what's going to happen is she's going to fall off, and then she's going to turn into one of those characters, yes, for specialists, or for people who just don't remember how to fight her, kind of like fighting, what's the character that nobody plays in this game besides El Chocolate?
Aki.
Besides Lily?
Lily. Yeah, like, that's going to happen, but it's going to be a little bit more than one person. It might be like 4 or 5, right? That are subjectively better than everybody else. Just, they have that edge because nobody practices against them or don't have enough knowledge, matchup knowledge later down the road.
You know what she strikes me as? The more I'm watching, I feel like she's just gonna have like the same game plan. I mean, everyone's got the same game plan. Make your opponent fucking bleed, right? Like, get him to 0.
Drive rush and drive impact.
Yeah. Like I mean, it looks like we got to see a couple buttons. You know, her crouching medium kick is like. Does she have the crouching medium kick drive rush option? Looks solid. You know, that could be that's gonna be an option for her to get in. Like you know, you get one of those. It's already an instant plus. But like her game plan, just because of the way that her kit is so straightforward. I'm getting like Ryu vibes. Like there isn't a lot of sauce here at first, but once you throw in things like the projectile and the stocks to kind of unlock kind of like the Ken kind of like, you know, steez in there that kind of has you a little bit mixed, like that's where I'm like, okay, there's like that option to go that route. But like I'm saying, I don't think it's like necessary. So what I'm talking about is for when she does her super art, I think right now it's only limited to like one super art. Or is it both? I think it's only one, her actual vertical flame one, right?
It's two. She gets buffed for her first and second super. Second super has like it's on fire.
Well,
the one where she
it's like but to actually get stacks, I think she only does it.
Stacks. It's only level 1. Only level 1.
Okay. So her level 1 is what gives her stacks, which then, you know, if you've seen it in the video, she has like a little flaming aura. That basically is just showing you that she has flame stacks that then improve her other abilities. That does include her specials and her supers, like Mezza was just saying. They do explain that. They do actually give you a nice viz on that around the 5-minute mark for that. So yeah, it makes her projectiles like kind of like multiple hitting. So the fireball game that already I think is kind of strong is now like damn near probably just completely on her side. So it's a character that kind of can become better if you want to use the resources, which is like really interesting because the game is really big on, you know, cashing out when you need to. I don't think they've stated here, but I mean, I couldn't see the stacks going on to the next round. That would just be broken.
They don't. They do not.
To be honest, I'm about to say that would just be so broken. I don't think we would. That would not last.
It would defy the fact that she would want to use level 1 super.
You would always cash out. Like, yeah, this chick would never have meter. Her meter, not a thing. But yeah, which is cool because like it's it emphasizes you using your super bar to gain an advantage in the normal footsie game, right? If possible footsie or situation, which I was like, that's a pretty cool trade-off. You can still get damage. It's still a level 1 reversal, right? It's fully invo to strike and throw. So sweet. She's got to get off me. Even though she does have a DP, we don't know how good her DP actually is. Like on Wake Up, it's an anti-air. That's cool, but we don't know if her only option is the super. Then okay, cool. That's fault 1. I can tell you right off the rip, right there is gonna be her getting knocked down. Which with some characters like your Camis and such, it's gonna be a pain. I really like a lot of characters actually in this game that just put you onto your ass. It's gonna be a bit of a pain for her. Not something Terry has to deal with because Terry has a pretty good DP as well as his super. His super also is like a really good reversal. But still, you run that risk if it gets blocked, you're getting smacked in the face. I feel like she's just very straightforward. Her kit is pretty easy, but there's just like this ability to go deeper. And you can say that with like any character, but like I already can see that they made it very prevalent very early on that there is more to her that you could definitely build up. And we're not even seeing like a lot of the drive rush shenanigans in any of these examples either, right? That's something the community is just gonna build on. Just to end things off here on just her super, her level 3. Anyone else think her level 3 like critical art is like not as impactful as her regular level 3?
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know what it is, but like the original level 3 had a bit more of a kind of like hit me a bit more because you're getting kind of like a Sam show feel, like once splat, and then you get to see Mai in this very serious face, which I've talked about it before in the previous episode. Like I'm like it reminded me. I'm like, oh yeah, this chick is an assassin. Like this is what she's about. She's about murking you. While as the other one was like you get a little extra elbow at the end afterwards, and it was just like, I don't know, it just didn't feel as impactful. I don't know, especially because of the end, because the character just like falls back slowly, and it's just like
I think every character needs to kind of take an example from characters such as like Cammy or Jury, where the
wear a thong?
extra not that necessarily. It's more the impact when we first saw Cammy's level 3 and then we saw the critical art.
Yeah,
It had a very like nice
a little bit of oomph.
Yeah, like even
had
with
a lot
Rashid,
of talent in it. A lot of talent. Yes, absolutely.
even with like characters like Rashid, you were just like, oh damn, I get it, right? I get why that's a critical art. This feels like, and I kind of will say this as a reference, watching Street Fighter 4, this is like, are the ultras actually cooler than the supers?
Yeah,
and that
kind of like
is
just
what I'm getting the
up.
vibe, where newer characters kind of, I don't know, they did Bison, right? How do you mess this up?
Yeah, right. Bison's was dope. I don't know. Yeah, this one I just felt like the critical art was a little bit of a miss. A little bit of a miss compared to the regular level 3.
I think we have to see other characters because she's literally not on the screen.
I know, like Ryu's so damn big, you don't even see half her face. Yeah, but I can't wait to see the other character faces from it. Though. That I'm excited for.
But yeah, I mean, you can also talk about Aki's and JP's. They're completely different, you know.
Yeah.
Back to the DP thing. I mean, no, I'm sorry about the this finisher thing. Lily's finisher doesn't even look like her CA. Doesn't look like it should be the CA. Like the one where she takes a photo and messes up and falls.
Yeah, she falls and all that. Yeah. All right. Well, but yeah. So she's gonna be coming out this week. We're gonna have our hands on her. It's gonna be fun.
Whoa.
We want to know from you guys, though. We want to know from you guys. This is going to be for the poll for this week. Where do you expect Mai on the tier list? Right off the rip, you can, if as soon as this episode goes up, we'll have some time. But, you can still have your time with her this week. And give us your impressions. Let us know if you're just going to be on, I don't know, maybe we'll do letters. We'll go letters and kind of give it a little bit of parentheses there, like S tier, A, B, C. We don't really do tier lists. Seen enough of them to know, but let's just put a couple letters on there. And I think you just put a picture somewhere and you make an argument, right? That's usually how tier lists go. But where do you see Mai? What do you expect to see her on the tier list? We want to hear from you guys on the first week impressions with that. But we do have some other quick things that are coming along. We did talk about it. We have some quality of life things that Mai is bringing with her and her patch. It isn't just her, coming to the table to dole out some whoop ass. We've got some new features coming to Ranked, which I'm actually pretty stoked about. Off the rip, Master Ranked is going to be getting 3 additional ranks within it. Right now it's just Master, and then if you make it to your top 500, you get Legend. Nothing really in between there. Looks like they're going to be adding 3 additional ones with High Master, Grandmaster, and an Ultimate Master, similar to in Street Fighter 5, right? They implemented those additional ones after, like Warlord, Ultimate Grandmaster, and such. Looks like they're doing that here as well. But with an added twist, which I think this is really, really cool. I'm surprised it's taken them this long to include something like this. But they've added things, this new system called like Master ACT rewards. Basically, you can actually like exchange, or you can gather like Master points, or like you can get like these points in your Master rank once you like make it there, and you can actually trade in these points, these MR points. For drops. Basically, they're like Master's reward. Think of almost like Prestige or it's like called something in League as well. Like League of Legends has something similar to that, where it's like per season or something like that. They have like a particular skin that you can spend a certain amount of points towards it, and it's like specific to like that season or maybe that battle pass or that time or that theme. Well, they're gonna be doing that for Street Fighter, so it's gonna be like specific colors. So if you come across the pink, purple, kind of violet, shined up character, then this guy was a master ranked to some degree in season 1 or season 3 or season 4 or for that character. Exactly, you do it for that character. So I was like, that's pretty dope, because that's like a little incentive there, right? Because I feel right now, like once you're in master, it's like kind of like what unless you're like shooting for Warlord. It's like whatever. It's like what other incentive do you have? And you can't like get out of it either. You can't drop out of Master. So it's like, okay, well now you've got these additional ranks in it that you can do a little bit more grinding to, which is really cool. Helps kind of like also divide to see more, because I think like it's like very skewed in terms of the data and how many masters there are, and it's like all you have is the MR to go by, like a 1500 master or lower, because you can go lower than 1500 and still retain master, and a 1900 master. Like you can't really tell that difference. But now with these additional ones, there's a little bit more ability to kind of separate the skill set and the landscape.
My issue here is that you can be higher rank and then find. The problem right now is that you'll be higher rank and find somebody who's like in 1300. Let's say you're in 19, you'll find somebody 13. However, what this problem can also bring is that what if the other 1900s aren't online right now? What happens? Are you stuck just waiting for a match for a while or no?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't like the fact that they haven't done this or taken at least the concept of. I'm a really big fan of Tekken's system. I feel like I'm always climbing a ladder, and it feels fun. Even for casuals, I think it's a really fun because it's not iron, silver, gold. Like you kind of like know these base numbers, and then you're just climbing through the category. It's very brain numbing. Whereas like you have all these weird names in something like Tekken, and you almost like feel rewarded for climbing. But I think the biggest thing is going to be how many points are these people really getting when these new ranks come out, right? Because I like this idea. It's just now we're categorizing. Am I going to be like in that middle master rank and I'm like, this is suffrage because I'm getting 5 points instead of when I was playing in masters and I was getting 1 point for fighting somebody who was not maybe necessarily a high master or in that category that I was in of points. So I don't know. This is going to be an interesting take on things. I think it's still better regardless, but they need more. Essentially, they need better rewards. They can't just give out pink costumes. I mean,
they need.
It could be the start of it.
It's a little. Like they need to redo maybe some of the placements because my Luke is at platinum like 3, and like I can't get anywhere farther. Even if I'm doing like what is that win streak? I'm on like a 22 win streak, and I'm still getting 45 points each one, or something like that. It's very low. Yeah.
It's mind-numbing grinding. That's the problem, and that's why I said like I believe Tekken has a better system where I feel like I'm always rewarded.
Like until I get to diamond, then it does the win streak thing. But I don't even know what it's doing now. But anyway, that depends on I wish the placement were to revamp itself because it would have made sense on the day one back in whenever that was, June 2nd, was it? 2023.
So I think it was like June 2nd. Yeah.
Let's just hope they keep going in this direction, considering they are doing a live service. They've been doing that since day one. They just didn't know they were maybe doing it effectively. So they got to start doing it more effective.
Yeah. So this is just the start of it. So we'll just see what else they do. Do they end up adding to it?
What do you mean, like quality of life? Because they got the watch replay now. You can watch replay from the menu.
Yeah, the last thing that have been listed here is watch replays from the menu directly. Like as soon as you get done, you could just, you got your ass whooped. You could watch it instantly just to get the rewind on whether or not you had the block left or right, or if you actually detect that grab within the first 9 frames of the animation. You can watch it straight from there. You'll be able to use pause, use the menu, and even during like round calls and after the KO. Apparently, the pause menu has been reorganized to make it easier to access frequently used items such as change, playback round, and such, which is cool. Once again, you don't have to go digging around. You can actually just get it. That's the one thing about Street Fighter 6 I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like there's an overabundance of menus. Like at times, like I've gone back recently to check a couple things. And I'm like, damn, I gotta go like 3 menus deep to get into something that I'm looking for. That's kind of like
it's cluttered,
a little annoying. Yeah, that's not an intuitive experience.
I had to like get out of the way of trying to find my all my friends are posted here. I'm like, I don't want this. I need to go to
exactly.
I will just say for the record, I think having the replay instantly usable is a very good thing, but I'm gonna still hold everybody accountable. Just do what Tekken does. Make a system where you can replay everything and actually figure out where you messed up, right? And actually replay it. I think this is the best system that's been created. I know they are doing something similar.
I thought they brought that out already.
It is coming with it.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a part of it. I'm just saying this should be a staple now at this point. And it's good that they're bringing this replay system out. I'm just saying this should have been out like a year or 2 ago, man. I'm just
better late than never.
Yeah.
Better late than never. All right. And speaking of better late than never, we got a community event going on this week. If you guys are going to be checking out Mai, we're going to be running some Mai sets this week on the 5th, starting 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be right here on the Discord. I'll be there. I mean, I think these other guys are going to be there as well. We'll be creating lobbies, going to be sharing it. If you're going to be jumping in, you want to play some Mai, just see who's Mai reigns supreme, or you just want to get a lot of knowledge against your main character, this is going to be the time to do it. You have to make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already been in it. But if you haven't, make sure to join us at doubletap.gg/Discord. That is the invite right there. Come in, say what's up, say hi, and make sure to join the event that they will be playing. I'm stoked. I haven't been back to Street Fighter 6 in a minute, and Mai has me pretty hyped to come back and actually try it out. So I'm gonna be playing her all day, run sets. If you see me in there, I'm all for it. Once again, doubletap.gg/Discord. With that, we're gonna be taking a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna be going into a bit of a wild situation with Multiversus. You're not gonna want to miss that. So don't go anywhere. Be right back. All right, and we are back. Mai's around the corner, but you know what isn't? Multiversus future. Oh, damn, too early. So Multiversus, it has been, dude, this game has had the wildest come-ups and most strangest decisions made in its short-ass life. So if you've been online, if you've been watching, been playing, you've heard the recent announcement that has gone out that season 5, which will be starting actually on the 4th. Actually, should be it'll be the 4th tomorrow for you guys. It's going to be going from the 4th of February until May 30th. It'll be the final update for Multiversus. After season 5 ends, players will be able to enjoy the game offline for the foreseeable future. That was in the official announcement from the Multiverse Twitter page. 30th of May. That means this game barely was out, barely made year 1. It re-released. Remember, re-released back in May 28th, 2024. After taking that year-long break from its beta back in 2023. And we were along the ride for the whole thing, bro. There were great things about this game, but man, were there some very just questionable choices. And the reason we bring it up is because it's been just a hailstorm of information, misinformation, claims, unfortunately physical threat as well, like and harm to some people. And it's just like, bro, what is going on here? So we're gonna try to put some of this in order for you guys as I dug in through it. So this announcement came out with an additional breakdown as to, like, actually today, a season 5 trailer showing off some of the characters, some of the things that they're doing and what they're gonna do for season 5, including the last 2 characters that are gonna be coming out, which is Lola Bunny, like the Space Jam version, and Aquaman, this weird kind of like hybrid of like Jason Momoa, like Aquaman 2. I didn't see Aquaman 2, and I keep forgetting he actually wore that. He actually wore the traditional outfit. It looks kind of like him. But yeah, those are going to be the last 2 characters that are going to be released for season 5, which is like kind of like an interesting pick. But like I said, in the season 5 trailer, there's like a bunch of costumes coming out, like Harley Quinn. There's a Mad Jack one. There's a Raven one. Jason's in a policeman's outfit, no joke. And there's like Wave Dash. There's a bunch of cool things that are coming to season 5. It got, it might be a situation where season 5 might be the best of the game will be.
That's sad.
on its way out, which is fucking very sad. But yeah, I mean, let's just go down the list. Like, so if y'all remember the beta was good.
It was fun.
Like, if y'all, let's like rewind it a bit back to
the
2023.
beta or the original game beta that was the game, and then it won Game of the Year beta. That was the one that was at Evo beta. That gave money to people that got top
whatever you
24.
Yeah, 2023. Okay. Let's just bring it back 2 years. Before the break, before the hype got just fucking slain for the game. 150,000, 130-something thousand people, right? Like, the game was fun. It was fast. Yes, there were some bugs to it, but there were things that were getting addressed. And it being set as a beta, we kind of accepted some things. But once again, the gameplay, I think, was at its peak. It felt great. Like I said, the speed was a big component before they decided to take the game down. And we had a whole conversation about this, right? Like early access versus... you're buying a season pass, you're already buying a Founders Edition. $100, like the money you're putting into this game, which by the way, because this game is fucking closing, two things. One, you can't spend any more money on it. But then two, don't expect to get the money you've already spent on it back. They're not giving refunds. Motherfuckers that paid that $100 Founders Edition and got all these extra like character tickets just lying around and shit. You ain't getting none for that. Like, holy crap. Way out of luck.
How do you even reimburse them anyway? But did we not call that? I'm sorry, I just have to sidetrack. Did we not call that saying this is a little ridiculous to have a Founders Pack in something that's like technically a beta still?
Yeah.
Once
wild.
they took away what was initially there, don't invest any more money into it if you already know. And then they're not giving you the product you already started with at the beginning.
Like the biggest problem with the Multiversus is like it was already like a solid product.
And it
then went away for a year, came back, but
different.
It came back worse. To be perfectly honest, it came back worse. The game speed going as slow as it was. Like some people might have argued, like, you know, I know I'm tacking on the game speed a lot, but a lot of people argue like, okay, maybe the game was too fast. Okay, but you guys kind of cranked it too much where it was just way too slow, and it just felt like a completely different game at that point. Like,
we beefed up the characters so they're bigger.
And then the rosters was like another aspect of it.
Yes, I was gonna say, from my perspective, it was like the B characters of every franchise besides like Batman and maybe Superman. Like, Superman even in the game? Like, that's the problem. That's the problem, because then you're like, oh, it's Velma, but where's Scooby? Where's Fred?
But Shaggy's in it, Super Saiyan and stuff, right? Which, by the way, he's getting an Ultra Instinct like costume for season 5, which I'm just like, oh my god. But they did some great things though. Jason, I think, was incredible in this game. Stripe was dope. Stripe shines, not even outshines. It's like just so far back on like the demographic of people that play here, like weren't even born when this fucking character was like relevant in culture, right? Like, which is nuts. But he plays very well. Raven, I thought, was a great addition. She plays amazing. Like, the game had so many good wins in it.
Kevin Conroy.
Other people are arguing certain things, like, Banana Guard has been like on target from a lot of people because there were some things that were addressed here from like the game director with Tony and the community manager, Ajax and such on Twitter. And Tony explaining the situation and saying, oh yeah, Banana Guard was just a character that the team was very passionate about, and they did it on their own time, and they did it on a weekend. Some people are like, oh my god, they took a character slot for that. Supposedly, it wasn't a character slot they took. This was something done proactively by the team. Okay, cool. Give you the mulligan there. And people are blaming other characters being in there as like the downfall. I'm like, it isn't just like a character that killed the game. It seemed like there was just like a mismanagement here.
My thing is this. They put a character in the game on top of other characters that we already got. Right? In between, to kind of almost fill.
Yeah, there were like minors and major characters like kind of coming in.
I thought he was fucking annoying as a character. I didn't care for him, but I was like, he's strong. He's cool. Yeah. Like, hey, there's a character in the game. They gotta come up with their own characters. That's fine. If people are really
right, what is it? Ryan Dog was already in there, right?
Yeah. My thing is this: we thought that character sucked, and then we found out people really liked the character more than we thought. Was that a loss of a slot? No. But my thing is this: at the end of the day, yeah, you could sit here and say characters are the reason why the game felt. That was far from it. I like to compare and contrast and say it's the same as DNF Duel. Stop blaming characters for being the downfall of why people suck at the game and why they struggle to adapt. It is literally understandable if they put characters that have nothing to do with the actual theme of the game. But I think Banana Guard fit the theme perfectly. He's cartoony. He's annoying as hell. I actually thought he was like a joke character, kind of like a Dan. But he was good. So I was like, man, I don't want to fight Banana Guard. I would always say that. But I was like, I never thought like he was a waste of a slot. And if they're coming out saying that they had time to do it on their own time, shut up. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Why are you complaining?
It was the community was pretty passionate about this. This game is like really messed with your emotions. Like, if you really were about this game, if you were like your some voids and such, right? Who Evo, one of the winners for the one Evo event that game actually had, the team tournament, right?
2022, I think.
I think it was still 23. I believe it had to have been 23 because it was before they went into obviously into a hiatus. So I believe it was 23.
Okay. I just remember the Evo with the masks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like the thing that kicks me in the teeth here is just like it's just the game itself had a lot of potential, and yet it still managed to just like miss the dunk on like so many occasions. The monetization got really convoluted after a while, like especially coming back. It went from like just fighter coins to like, okay, here's the 4 or 5 different currencies you get, and it's like, holy shit, like what can I get for what again? You know, it made it overly complicated. You had rifts that, like, you know, at first I thought they were fine, but the more I played it, because I did put some more time into the game afterwards, and it was like, yo, this is so grindy. It is so grindy for me to get anything. Like, and I was on the set goal to be like, I'm not gonna spend no money. I'm just gonna grind the game out and get characters. I'm like, bro, I was like only like 3 characters in before I was like about to give up the towel. Like, this is, and the thing is, you can't even like pick the characters. You have to like go in order, which I was like, how you fuck that one up? Like, the fighter's road was like, oh, I need to get 50 points for a character, right? But no, it's 50 points for the first character, which is it's not like Batman or anything. I forget. It's not Shaggy either. What the fuck was like the first couple ones? I think Jake was one of the early ones. And I'm like, bro, I don't play Jake. Like, I don't give a shit. But you had to buy them to then go on to the next character. I was like, you couldn't give me the ability to just scroll through and pick the character I want to get. Like, I already did the grinding. Like, I shouldn't have to unlock the rest of the roster or 3/4 of the roster to get to my character. It wasn't even alphabetical order either. I'm like, how do you decide this?
Easy. You don't care, and you just go. Maybe they did popularity contests, right? Like, what was the most popular or most played?
Yeah, but like, goddamn.
In my personal opinion, and you know, I was playing the game when it came out a second time around. I even played it with a friend, and we were just having fun. But then I was also like bitching too, because I was like, this isn't the same game. It feels clunky. It feels bad. But like, I kind of found myself always going, I want to play it, but I just want to fucking delete this shit.
Yeah, there was other games that were, you know, like you had Rivals 2 and such like come out. It's like that just took it away. Like, the gap really, like that 1 year, man, that 1 year was not good. That 1 year of just stepping out, like, you could have let it rock still and then been working on it in the background. I don't know why it just killed any hype for it. And then to come back slow.
It had insane numbers too. That's the crazy part. Even when it came back, but that was the thing. I don't know. They could have gone away, right? They could have changed practically nothing. Hell, even if they did change the things that they did, just leave the baiting for money and live servicing out. You can't incorporate that. I get it. They need to make money. Do it at a smaller rate. Like, I hate bringing this up, but Marvel Rivals is a good example. I've played the Rocket Blade Point, which is, you know, another technically a battle royale fighter. They NetEase
as well.
Yeah, they're both NetEase. Yeah. They get me. The only reason why I can see myself spending money is because they put a lot of time into the costumes and all the stuff that they're dropping.
Yeah.
This felt lackluster and lazy, and was like, that's the weird part, because they had time.
They had time. There was so this is why it's also become a bit of a crazy storm, because it's like this got announced supposedly, once again, take this for a grain of salt. Now there's Reddit posts coming up of like internal employees going like, there is all this content that never made it. There's fake lists that are out there. This is obviously coming from a place of like real passion and love for the game, and also frustration, to be perfectly honest, frustration over how the game's been handled. And that's what's led to, like I said earlier, things like even threats towards the game director with Tony and all that, which, first of all, it's unacceptable. At no level should it ever get to that. And I'm not here to be like, on the other hand, no, but on the other hand, what I'm trying to say is this is still definitely Tony has put up whatever he's wanted to put up, his message and all that on everything. He feels bad, understandable, the team care. But at the end of the day, like, you were game director.
You fucked up.
This was your job to ensure it wasn't going to go this route. And there was a lot of community outreach for a long time, a lot of feedback. When you introduce shields to it, there was a lot of feedback that came through, especially doing it mid-season. That's kind of wild. What are you, fucking Arxis? It's crazy. But you know, introducing major mechanic changes that change fundamentally how the game is, but then not tweaking it enough, and then still things like the movement still not being addressed. Like the game would take like a step kind of forward, half step, but then three steps backwards and to the left. And it's like, yo, like game balancing was another one, right? The top tiers have kind of been the top tiers forever. There's been like maybe some swaps, but nothing major. You know, fucking Agent Smith has been just a tirade like since he dropped. I think they tweaked them a little bit, but like, yo, the dude is like 2 jabs and the grab go, you know, up special, up air, and that's it. You were done. I watched tournaments, and when getting to grand finals, bro, I feel bad for the casters. They're like, and Agent Smith 1-2. Okay, cool. That's 1 life, and they would call it. And I'm like, God damn, this character
that's like
needs some
Bayonetta
work
all over again. But like
dude, it was rough,
but worse. You know, I want to pose the question before we continue. I understand, right? You know, it's not an easy job what he's doing. It's not an easy job for any of them.
No, absolutely not.
Do you think because they got so much feedback too fast and I'm not even going to say they weren't prepared. I'm pretty sure they tried to prepare best they could. Do you think they were just overwhelmed to the point where they kind of crashed out a little bit because it's not that they didn't have enough people, but they just didn't know what to focus on first because there's so many things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the focus for the game was just like wherever they wanted it to go. Just either just never got solidified or it changed too much that they just couldn't like kind of hone in on what the main goal was. And it just like they were trying to appease in all these other areas, and it's like they didn't have a good enough foundation to hold that down. Like at the end of the day, I thought, you know, I would think the goal would be simple, just make the game a great game to play. Yeah. Because then, you know, you'll get people that are going to want to stay on. You'll keep your community up. You know, it's a live service game. You gotta have your players in there, right? You're buying yourself time is what you're doing, really, right? Like the thing that kicks me in the teeth the most right now is that this was a live service, like a real like free to play game, right? A model that we've talked over and over again about in fighting games that, you know, we should adopt and it could be successful. But I'm like, damn, bro, like the failure of this already has caused Riot to kind of cancel their shit. They've even stated it. They're like, yeah, we looked at things like Multiversus and it's like, yeah, we're gonna cancel like Pool Party, right? Pool Party was like their platformer that they were gonna do. And you know, now it's like, how are we gonna be feeling about free to play games in the future, right? Like this is like a stain on that, which I'm like, damn it, dude, we were working so hard on this. And this isn't for a lack of not trying, but like, dude, you had a great IP. There was still the ability to get a lot of other characters in that people were asking for, and definitely could have lined up to, you know, things that are coming up. Like I'm still pissed that we didn't even get an MK character this short into the game's life. Like MK1 was coming out. I'm like, yo, you throw Scorpion, just one of them, Scorpion or Sub-Zero, somebody in there just for the hell of it.
Do I say the thing that I never wanted to say, that I defended Multiversus on? How do you fuck up harder than Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl Battle, whatever? That's how bad I don't know the game anymore. By
pulling the game the first time.
I agree.
But the irony is that game is still rocking right now. It's not like they ended support on that game.
And they have an All-Star Battle 2.
Yeah. Because that was like the fix for a bunch of their stuff. That was the deal.
It's like watching MVC3 turn into UMVC3. But the problem with it was like, they're like, imagine if we didn't have any of the voice actors for MVC3 and we're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And then we get the voice actors for MVC3. Now we've paid in total like $120 or so. That's literally what happened with that game. With Multiversus, that's not what happened at all. I actually think they focused on retention for using the live servicing to force people around the Founders Pack and everything.
But even Marvel 3 had its issues with launch. Both games.
Yeah.
The first one is like, oh, I don't have Ken, you can't play. Or the second one, Marvel Ultimate came out, and it's like, who is Rocket Raccoon? Who is MODOK? Like, we
X
don't want
Factor in the
MODOK.
air. I didn't know
Retention.
I wanted this.
But that's the thing.
No,
Retention. The gameplay was solid.
the gameplay was. Well, I mean,
It took us time to get to the
It's
where
still
we need to
broken,
be.
but I think also just you have. What was I gonna say? I think there's more capabilities now. Offline is different in this game than it is in that game. I mean, offline, are you doing doubles or are you not? You know, like.
Yeah, that's gonna be the only path. Like, I hope what they also do, because I know they only dropped the season 5 trailer. I hope they do something like allow you to have all the cosmetics or something offline. Like, this is the least you could do. They've done it with. It's been done with prior games. I think it should be something they could do to at least make it whole for the community.
You know what they do?
Because man, what's up?
I'm gonna solve it for you right now.
Oh,
the
shit.
easiest thing ever. Leave the source open. Let the modders handle it.
Yeah, there's actually been an insane movement on Save
Just do
MVC, Multiversus, or Multiversus something. I think it's like Multiversus respawn or something like that.
I mean, for all
like basically we're going like the Project M route here, where it's just gonna be like a very heavily modded version. They're gonna just crack this thing open. Which I'm like, hey man, these guys aren't Nintendo. Go for it.
Exactly. They'll probably bring it online like they did with the Slippy.
With Slippy mod and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
The only thing that we're probably going to see is them. They probably, and this is a known thing. If you guys don't know this is for modder. For those who don't know about modders, modders actually they retain a lot of the original files generally when the game's going through the course of years, just in case they have to roll back and pull information from there. So don't be surprised if we see the speed go back to what it was. We see the size of the characters go back to what it was, where we see certain aspects that were maybe a little broken, but more of a complete game than what this is. Go back to that. So they're going to pull elements from both, and you're going to get your little project, WB game, whatever they call it, right? And I think that I'm looking forward more to that than the closing of this, because I'm like, all right, pack it up, guys. I don't care. I don't even need to wait that long. Let the modders get a hold of it. Let them have fun, because that's what this is going to turn into. They're not going to make money off of it. They're really not. I mean, outside of
it's already been stated. Yeah, it's already been stated. This is not going to be some sort of payment to it. So this is just to kind of, just to kind of keep the scene going, because it was still. It might not hit Smash or Rivals level, but there was still a community being built out of it, carved out of it, that were dedicated to time, having fun. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the beta so much. And sure, I came back and I still played that. Hey, I was an Agent Smith player. Sorry, sue me. I thought the character was cool.
Or
Harley. Yeah, those two. But it just I could see why, but it was harder and harder when it came back for me to really sit down and play. So it's like people are just trying to recapture that beta feeling that they had, that perfect sense of the speed and the wave dashing and all that they had available to them, which can still be achieved. So it might just live again in the underground right now, and if it gets enough support, who knows? We might see a revival of it.
I'll say this little tidbit that kind of hurts a little bit, and I think everybody feels this way. When you see games that are consistently at the top for a long time, aka like Street Fighter 6, Tekken, stuff like that, you always dream of seeing a game topple something, right? Dota was around for a long time. You saw League of Legends. You had, Unreal and stuff like that. Quake, and you had Unreal come out, right? And those games kind of toppled. Still, yeah, those other games existed, but they took that spot, right? So I feel like Multiversus, when we first saw it, we were like, oh shit, this might be it. This might be I'm not saying the Smash killer, but this might be what Smash has been looking like, the next evolution, as how we look at 2XKO. We're 2XKO. We're like, that's the free to play, kill all the games that are make you pay for games.
The evolution of the idea.
Yeah, and I just feel like it sucks, because that was supposed to be the platform version.
It was the chosen one. It was the chosen one.
With a free-to-play game, you still gotta sell something.
Yeah, you do, absolutely. And it's just
Fortnite, man.
They just somehow weren't able to just dunk it, bro. They missed the layout. They missed it all. It's frustrating.
Live service models have the layout. It's called Fortnite. Just copy it. And if not, Roblox it, man.
So Multiverse is a good example of what the next games can take advantage of, or not take advantage, but like can learn from. Exactly. Like there's, I mean, I don't want to say like Mortal Kombat is something people can learn from. They should, but like anybody else should. I mean, even Nickelodeon Battle All Stars you can learn from. Put voices.
They learn from themselves. They learn from themselves.
Improve,
right.
Learn.
So
take
I mean,
really community feedback and apply it.
Yeah, I don't know what other games are looking forward to now that we can say should learn from it, but
learn from Virtua Fighter. Virtua Fighter is somehow reviving itself constantly. Like it's like a dying phoenix, bro. I don't get it.
It's taking a while, but all right. So before we get into this next break with something, we need to ask you guys: if you had full control over the game's direction, what's the first thing you'd make? What's the first change you'd make? Once again, if you had full control, if you were the game director and you had something you could just pick and change on the spot, what would that be? Let us know. We're going to be posting up the question of the week on all our socials as well as our Discord, and we'll be following up on the next episode to get those answers. In the meantime, guys, we'll be right back. We're taking a quick break, and you guys were just talking about, we're going to talk maybe some Virtua Fighter and some Mortal Kombat, maybe some City of Wolves. We'll see what's going on there. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. All right, and we are back. Multiversus didn't win Game of the Year for the second time, unfortunately. It actually ends up getting getting put down for the second time instead. Quite the opposite. In the meantime, though, let's talk about something that's made a revival, or rather a question of the week, a previous episode's question of the week that we asked you guys about, which is, of course, with the Virtua Fighter franchise that we saw actually get shown off at the NVIDIA event weeks back. We asked you guys, are you hype for the Virtua Fighter 6, Virtua Fighter 6 in general, post the CES gameplay that showed off, the crazy fights that we saw in animation. We've got a couple of answers here. Virtual Kazama, who is, man's a ride or die for Virtua Fighter, let me tell you right now, says, as someone who's been part of the VF community for years, look, I'm not lying, I'm excited to see what Sega will do for VF6, so yeah, I'll be checking it out. David, aka Top Ranma, says, never got to play Virtua Fighter, but I like what I've heard and seen, and this demo video was fire, so I'm hyped to try it. Let me see if we can do two more real quick. What's me doing? What's me doing? Says, is it all modern or classic is the question. With that movement, it can't be classic like input. Interesting take on the small little snippet that we got. So a little bit on the fence there. Central states, I'm hyped that VF is coming back at all. What I took from the CS gameplay was that it will be very different to other fighting games, which is exactly what I want out of one of the biggest fighting game franchises ever. I don't know if you want to say biggest, but it's definitely one of the more influential ones. It is an OG, and it's right. It has done a lot. A lot of the team members on that team has inspired a lot of game developers now, and just like NVIDIA stated, it's got a pretty big history when it comes to just video games and tech in general, right? Like they were the ones that powered that game that kind of put them on the map. So they kind of did shape a lot of the things for us. We appreciate you guys taking the time for answering that question of the week. Once again, we're going to be posting up this week's episode, or this week's question of the week, this episode, on all our social media at DoubleTapFGC. Make sure to check us out there. Let's jump into it. City of the Wolves. Can't forget that franchise.
Almost did. No,
that's crazy.
I'm kidding.
Oh, how could you?
Well,
what's funny?
I forgot that they were going to have what we're going to talk about.
We're having a beta. So City of the Wolf is having an open beta that's going on this month. It's actually going on, I believe it's the 25th. I'm going to get my date right here. It is the 20th until the 24th. So it's basically a whole week. You get a whole week of City of the Wolves to play. I don't believe we have any details though in terms of characters, but is it 9 characters?
Nine characters. To our knowledge, it's 9 characters.
Okay, I'm assuming this is like from the not the Evo build. What am I thinking? Is it Evo Japan? Yeah, it was a specific build for it, but I think it might have been Evo Japan that we're gonna get to see. So 9 characters to play there. I was like, a part of me was like, oh my god, I keep forgetting Mai and Terra, Yara, and Street Fighter. We have yet to see what's going on with Ken and Chun-Li, who are also going to be in this game. Like,
which is weird.
That's also something I had forgotten about completely.
It's
Yeah.
weird,
But, yeah.
due to the fact that it's not a standard like KOF game. It's Fatal
Yeah.
Fury.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
Fatal
also
Fury,
Mark of the
so-
Wolves type style, so it's a little interesting.
Yeah, so the open beta test will be happening on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, as well as on Steam. Whether or not that's going to be crossplay is another question. Not sure if we have that answer on this one. But with so many consoles being there, wouldn't be surprised if we did. But if we don't, I am definitely going to be checking it out on Steam.
Oh, Steam too.
Yeah, so yeah, City of the Wolves, man. Remember it's coming out this year, so it's doing a lot of things right. I feel like it's kind of like underwhelming in terms of like the road to it. Hopefully the marketing kicks up, we get more hype. But once again, we still haven't seen things like Chun-Li or Ken in it as well.
Or
to kinda help
Cristiano
build that.
Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, we still don't know what's going on with Ronaldo.
Man
Like
is
I don't
stuck behind a door.
yeah, forever stuck. Maybe we won't find out till like release or something. And he's like, I'm doing a tournament, and then everyone freaks the fuck out.
But I don't know if there's any events coming up. I mean, that'll be the like do the Lupe Fiasco type thing you did with Street Fighter 5, whatever that was.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Somebody
now.
versus
He beat-
him.
yeah,
Don't
he
pick
beat Gaga.
Rugal, you know.
I'm gonna say something weird. I think this is
Not
gonna
allowed
be,
to pick Ruka.
I think this is gonna be one of those games that doesn't really get like the crazy exposure that everybody's expecting. Kind of like how Samurai Showdown didn't really get like crazy exposure. It just kind of was like Samurai Showdown, and people were like, it did, but it didn't. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like
because I was gonna say it didn't it like break record for the most pre-orders or something like that. Like it was a highly pre-ordered.
That's
game.
fine, but like they promoted it through other means. They didn't promote
Yeah.
it through like commercials and ads. Let me correct that, right? So like I feel like that's what they're trying to do with Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, right? We got we got Terry and Street Fighter 6. We already tried them here. If you don't like them here, hey, go play them in the real game that they originated from.
The
like,
real
the
game.
real
I just
game.
remember Embrace Death was actually trending.
And
it
that was kind of cool.
And
That was
people
kind
were
of
like,
cool.
"This is political," and I'm like, "Shut up." It's not.
We're all embracing death. Kill your friends
Oh, yeah,
without
they-
feeling guilty.
And they had the stickers.
It's a different game.
They had the stickers
Yes,
too.
I have the stickers still not used
That's
somewhere.
wild, might I add. Hey, that might go for a lot of money, just like Pokemon cards.
Oh please, no.
So yeah, once again, make sure to keep an eye out for the open beta going on later this month. We'll definitely be checking it out. Definitely gonna be playing it. Definitely will get our impressions on it. In the meantime, though, one last thing to kind of round out this week's episode. Yeah, I was just talking about MK earlier before the show. This has been such a weird time, like between games getting canceled or shutting down, and new characters coming out. It's hype, and the MK community has been on some, I can't even just say MK. I feel like it's kind of hitting anyone that's been playing games, because it's such a really cool opportunity. But the new ninja Floyd has been making the rounds. The new mysterious pink ninja, obviously being a play on Pink Floyd. For those that know, you know. For those that don't, I don't know what to tell you. Has now been discovered in the latest patch of the game, which that's included obviously Conan in his release. And yeah, it's been a week of just nostalgia, because it's been a week of finding secrets, finding hints, people trying to just give each other the answers, and the information spreading in the internet like, yo, you need to do this to get this. Like, I just got the Floyd fight, I don't know how, and then investigating is going on. Dude, it's been great to see that happening, and it's amazing. It's so impressive to see it in a day and age of data miners, of information just still being spread so quickly. Your Reddits, your Twitters, YouTube, everything, you can just get it out there really fast. And it's still like, people were like, for the week, were still kind of like scratching their heads as to like how to make this pink ninja appear and actually take him down. So you get the cool grassy area level. That's what you get when you actually defeat Floyd. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit there. For those that aren't aware, Floyd is just like a pink palette swap ninja that is like Chameleon. Chameleon being another character who is actually a cameo, but there's like a male version of also Chameleon. That basically it's all of the ninjas in the game, but they change to them. The difference here is that Floyd is like all of them at once all the time. Like they'll always have the spear. You always got the slide. You've got Rain's thunder and his kick. Like Floyd is all of them all at once.
Not to mention, he makes a wall and you're instantly in a corner. That move
yeah,
is nuts.
yeah. The wall.
Yeah.
That's the one unique move that Floyd actually does bring. This crystal wall that he can put up, which is basically like a Frost cameo, kind of, is what it really is. But yeah. So yeah, like, dude, the rumors, the screenshots, the videos. Hey, I got this pink ninja, and I was getting hints, and it was like hints like straight out of MK2 for me. I can't remember if MK1 had it. Oh no, yeah, MK1 had it definitely for Reptile as well. But I remember it more vividly for 2 because like 2 was like my MK that I actually like really like, you know, sunk my teeth into really playing hardcore. And yeah, you would get like, you know, a ninja appearing before the round starts. You get a hint, and then you're supposed to decipher what that is. And then you have these fucking, you have these 10 challenges you have to do, but it's like randomly picked for you depending on your save data. And there's 37 challenges that they could be from. Now, mind you, all this is coming from just work that's been done by awesome community members, as well as specifically, I think the gentleman's name. I just want to make sure I get it right here. It is the Thinny on Twitter /X, who's created the Find Floyd, aka Floyd Tracker, to see how your progress has been going, so you can keep track as to like the challenges you have to do. Because there's a lot. Like I said, there's 37 challenges, and a lot of them are like. Some of them are like fucking wild. Lose to Johnny Cage with less than 9 seconds left. References
are these
Johnny Cage from the
order?
1995 movie.
Are these like you have to? Oh, they're just if you complete
random.
it.
Random.
You know, I feel
random.
like this reminds me of like I hate saying it this way because I fucking hated it, but maybe I'm older now, so I can look at it differently. Reminds me of The Crypt.
Oh, The Crypt is great. What do you mean?
I hated it personally because I just wanted what I wanted.
Yeah, well, that's
part. Like I said, I was young, so maybe I just didn't appreciate it. But I think over the course of years, looking at how games have developed to the point where everybody's just kind of data mining everything, and there's no enjoyment out of figuring it out. This kind of seems like going back to I think this happens like once every like 4 or 5 years. It feels like where there's a situation like this where everybody feels like we're back on Game Winners and GameFAQs.com, and you know, we're trying to figure it out. We can't even use a Game Shark to get it. You know,
it's been so sick. Like I said, it's so impressive that it's like worked out so well. Like it has taken quite a bit of time to get all this information and getting like all the hints down, and it's an effort for everyone that's been playing, which is just like.
One thing
so dope
I want to give credit to is that like how the community is bringing in accurate information about it, because so many times you go to like Game Winners or GameFAQs and you're like, I don't even know what this is saying, or I don't even know what this is doing, but we have access to Google Docs where we can find out anything pretty fast and even add to it as well. So like I found this way, I've found out a way to get this one, and you know, it's quite interesting.
Hey, I can still get that Mew from behind the truck. Okay,
false. Actually, that is false news,
dude.
Fake
but that's what I mean. That was that kind of feeling.
By the way, it's random. The challenges that you're supposed to do.
Yes, so they are random.
In game,
generate it randomly for you.
Yeah, for everybody.
And
you
whatever
don't know what you have to do of the 37 challenges.
All I did was put in my username into this daily tracker, and it has all of the stuff I've done in the game. Mind you, remember, I only played the game on my brother's PS5, and I have the game now on my PS5. So this PS5 has nothing except for what I bought. Like, I bought the season pass recently because they apparently had everything on sale, and I was like, all right, great. I got all the characters, but I had nothing complete. So like, I've only got one challenge out of the 37 or so to do. So I'm crying.
You're on the grind.
Is that a website that someone designed?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind.
That's what I mean.
That's full faith from Interest that someone's gonna do that. They didn't do it themselves. Dude. That's crazy, but that's like insane when you think about it. That's such a cool concept. I'm sorry, my mind's being blown a little bit.
It's so awesome. That's why I was like, it's been nothing but giving me a smile on my face, like hearing the stories and how people are just posting up the clips. I got Floyd, like almost like wearing like a badge, like I did it, right? Like I did it,
I'm happy
kind of deal. I did the thing. It was dope, man. Like I said, it was just like a cool feature because it reminds me of those days of like hearing the rumors like of a green ninja
or of a fatality,
or seeing smoke or whatever. What's up?
Or just of a fatality in general.
Of a fatality of some kind. Yeah, like it was like I had to see it. I was like, yo, we're in 2025.
We've
like,
opened up Mezza's mind with this website.
The player attempts is already insane. What are these?
I love some of these call outs too. I was just saying about Reptile, like no Luna, double flawless against Reptile. That's a callback to you needing to get a double flawless on the pit in the original Mortal Kombat 1 to get Reptile to trigger. Like that was one of the things. And it was one of the things that he says in his hints in that game where he says, look to the La Luna or some shit. I was like, yo.
Only if there's a shadow in the sky can you actually do the perfect thing. Yeah. On the pit.
Yeah. Full fucking circle, man.
That's
so
amazing.
it's just been amazing. And like, you know what? Like give it to MK to be the one to bring something like that back. I mean, also being, you know, they are like the progenitors of this idea of like these little hints and secrets, even as far back as the arcades, right? And in fighting games to do something like that. I would love to see that more often. Like, you know, Street Fighter did it, right? Like if you remember Street Fighter 2 technically, right? With Akuma's secret boss ending or secret encounter, right? Where he comes in, demons, Bison, and then you could fight him if you did like, I don't know, if you had like several perfects in the game.
Yeah.
You know, as far back as even Street Fighter 4, right? Like
edition,
you could also... You could not even arcade edition in the arcade in vanilla, you could either fight a Shin Akuma or Goken.
Right.
Back then, like it was like as a super boss or something. I was like, dude.
Are you talking about CBS 2?
No, Street Fighter.
No, Street Fighter 4.
CBS 2 had that.
But then CBS 2, right? You had God Rugal or whatever, Demon Rugal, where Shin Rugal, I guess, was
God Rugal.
Yeah,
and
then Shin Akuma, right? Like
depending on
like
who
I
played. KOF characters would unlock Kuma. I know. I believe KOF characters would unlock
Rugal.
Unlock Rugal, and then Street Fighter characters would unlock as long as your point character was that.
But yeah, it was. I was just like, dude, this is so sick. And not gonna lie, Floyd has a pretty sick intro. Like, I don't know if you've seen the intro when you actually fight him, but it's pretty epic. Okay, I wouldn't say super epic, but it was pretty dope though. But yeah, I wanted to just put it on there and ask you guys if any of you guys that have been listening, have you fought Floyd? Did you get a chance to beat him, or have you been on your journey like StaticGorilla here? We want to hear from you guys, your thoughts on it. Thoughts on the idea of this kind of like secret thing, which this might not even be it, because they hinted about this a while ago. They're like, yeah, there's still secrets in the game people haven't discovered.
Did they say that?
Which blows my fucking mind.
Because they probably just put it in as DLC.
Nah.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, but this was, I feel like I had heard this kind of talk like way earlier, like before this patch. Like there was some things coming up about it. Like Ed Boon had hinted about it, like, oh, I've always wanted to do a pink ninja named Floyd. Like that's like been a thing for a while, but to actually see it like now happen, I'm like, interesting. But yeah, once again, guys, let us know, and we'll let you know as soon as Static ends up actually beating Floyd. Maybe we'll take a screenshot, post it up on Twitter. But
do you get him if you do?
No, you only get a stage. You can't get him because he has so many special moves that it's like literally the inputs like just wouldn't work out for you. It's just too much. But yeah, with that, guys, that is gonna be it for this week's episode. It's gonna be a hell of a time. Mai's coming out once again. Make sure to join us this week if you're gonna be playing some Mai. Make sure to join us on our Discord, as we're gonna be having our community event for that, for our Mai set. Remember to join us at doubletap.gg/Discord if you haven't already. This is gonna be going on February 5th, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna go on until she stops looking so damn good. In the meantime, that's gonna be it for us, guys. We appreciate y'all hanging out for another episode of Double Tap. Make sure to follow my awesome host here, StaticGorilla, at StaticGorilla on all social media platforms, as well as on Twitch.
Agreed. My light just turned off, so that's cool. Right on time, right?
Right on time.
Yeah. So I've been playing some retro Sega games, but just like I mentioned earlier, before we were on the show, might try to find some GameCube games to play, because Wind Waker still needs to finish. So there's that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mezza at MezzaFGC, of course, on all social media platforms.
Of course, still content creating for not DNF Duel, DFO, sorry. But still playing fighting games here and there. Yeah, I'm still playing fighting games here and there. gonna be doing a lot more Marvel Rival streams and whatnot, but gonna be putting out a lot more content than streaming. So kind of expect a new schedule, all that stuff.
There you go. There you go. And make sure to follow, of course, the show at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms, as well as on YouTube, where you can get a video version of this podcast there to see some clips and some of the things that we're referencing as well. Check it out right there. Once again, that's Double Tap FGC. Go subscribe. You can also check out, of course, not only just our YouTube, but on the social medias for our question of the week, as well as our polls. We post those up, as well as on Spotify. So you can make sure to put in your vote there. Once again, we had it for Multiversus, as well as what we're thinking Mai is going to be on the tier list this week. You can follow me at Crashtag VS on just Twitter. I almost said all socials. I'm only on Twitter. You can follow me there, but I'm usually behind the Double Tap socials. But we appreciate you guys coming out and listening. We are still taking submissions for community segments, questions or topics that you want to talk about here on the show. Make sure to hit us up on our socials or at doubletap@mash.gg. Email us there. Let us know. We get something scheduled, get you out here to talk shop, whatever it may be. Anything fighting game related, we're down to clown and see what's going on and what is on your mind. Once again, guys, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube for all the video podcasts, shorts, and community posts that we have going on. We're going to be having a new episode in 2 weeks. Once again, we are going bi-weekly here. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Until then, enjoy Mai. Make sure to check out Capcom Spotlight. That's going to be going on as well. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to talk some more shop. But until then, be safe. Catch y'all later.